What's good, y'all? Welcome to the Beside Me podcast, where we talk about purpose, society, and space. Today, we are welcomed by a special guest who is a longtime friend of mine, and I'll have her introduce herself. Just say, your occupation, school, who are you, pretty much, and then say one special or cool fact about you.
Okay, got you. Hey guys, my name is Lauren Hunter. I'm currently a student at North Carolina Central University. I'm currently a junior majoring in biology. As far as occupation goes, I work as a CNA while I go to school, so student/CNA. The long-term goal is PA school, so physician assistant. And let's see, one fun fact about me. I like to spend my free time at like museums, aquariums, just learning new stuff,
Okay, so always learning.
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your favorite museum?
Ooh, I love a good like art museum. But my favorite museum of all time, the one in DC, the African American Museum.
Yeah.
Love it. I'll spend all day, all weekend. Like I'll even take a week just to go and look at it. But yeah.
Yeah. That museum was pretty cool. At that time though, I was kind of like tired of seeing the same thing. So I was walking around. It's like, okay, I want to go, but I would have to go back now because I'm different now. I can't be. I look back at it, I'm like, dang, I probably could have learned something new rather than sitting there. I seen Rosa Parks before. I seen Martin Luther King. How many times I gotta go? You know what I mean? Like, no, now that I go back and look at it, I'll probably be like, you know what? Okay, I might learn something here. But
yeah,
that's cool. Aquarium wise, though, like, what's your favorite sea animal to look at?
Ooh, okay. My favorite sea animal of all time is a sea turtle. I love sea turtles. I do, because they symbolize a lot as far as because Hawaiian culture symbolizes, like, the turtle symbolizes a lot as far as protection and peace. So I love a good sea turtle. Dolphins, pretty cool. I think a lot of people get dolphins and sharks mixed up because, like, people think of sharks as like dangerous, but they're really like puppies.
Yeah.
And dolphins are more dangerous.
Yeah, dolphins are terrible.
Dolphins are scary, bro. Like. Yeah, so I love a good dolphin, though, but definitely sea turtles. I like the stingrays where you can touch them. Yeah, that's cool.
You like...
And like the little tank with the sea urchins.
Well, you say stingrays, and like you gonna get
They're
stung.
not going to sting you.
How you know?
I don't know.
I mean, that dude, what's that white guy that got stung and died in the heart? Irvin or something?
I heard of it, but I don't know his name.
I don't know. I think it was like Irvin something. I don't know. Yeah. What?
Irvin?
It was like, I think his last name was Irvin. I don't know. Steve Irvin? I don't know.
I've heard of like jellyfish stings. Jellyfish are cool to look at too, though. Yeah. With the lights and stuff. They put the lights in there.
Oh, yeah.
Bro.
Like, they put the lights in the
tank.
Oh.
To make them like change colors.
I thought you said like the jellyfish got lights. I was about to say,
no.
What? I ain't know jellyfish can glow like that. Okay.
No. But
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's cool. I mean, I think personally me, I don't really have a favorite sea animal. I haven't thought about it. I think whales are cool.
Whales are cool.
Yeah, they're huge, whatever. How like they're what's the name when they like make the whatever like how
the echolocation stuff?
Yeah, like how far it can travel. Like I didn't know. I think I saw a video and I was like, dang, like it's like miles and miles. You can hear it. They can hear it or whatever. I think that was really cool hearing that or whatever.
But dolphins can do that too. I wonder if their signals ever like if they can hear everybody's signals like because like if you think about it, that's their way of like communicating.
Yeah.
So like if we talk to each other like this, they talk to each other like that. But if you have like a room full of people talking to each other, you hear all the other people.
Right.
So I wonder if they can hear like the different.
I mean, could it be like a different frequency though?
Probably, yeah.
No animal even on some high
works.
tech stuff. So dolphins got one frequency and the whales got a different frequency or something. I don't know.
That's crazy. That's wild.
That is wild.
I never thought of it like that. I thought they were all just on like one frequency.
I mean, it makes sense though. They're all in the water, but
if that's the case, it's loud.
Yeah,
for them.
It's gotta be. There's no way. All them animals in there,
bro. There's no way.
There's no
You're
way.
not getting peaceful sleep
at all. You got this family over here talking. This family like, nah, y'all need to chill over there. Why y'all arguing? Like, come on,
right?
Man.
For real.
So we can go ahead and go into the questions I got for you. Like I always say, if you have questions for me, ask them. I might say my own experience. My last episode, I went on like a whole 2-3 minute, I don't know, 4 minute. I was just talking and he was just listening. I like that or whatever. So I'm not interviewing you, but I
Okay.
do have questions for you.
Got you.
So boom, that's how we're gonna do it. Conversation like. So the first question I have is: do you think society is becoming more or less connected as we continue to advance technology? I don't even know how to say the word right now. Oh my God.
Technology? Or like
Technologically. That's the
got
word.
you.
Yeah. Let me say that question again.
Got you.
Do you think society is becoming more or less connected as we continue to advance technologically? There we go. Yeah.
Got you. Now, as far as connected, I think as far as like meeting new people,
Mhm.
we're a lot more connected because you can meet people in China, meet people like wherever.
Right.
But as far as connected, like in person and being in tune with each other, I think we're less connected. Because a lot of times people find it easier to hide behind the screen. I feel like it's a lot easier to be vulnerable behind the screen. You don't have to sit there and look a person in the face and be like, yeah, this is what I went through. This is what I'm going through. If you want to be vulnerable, and I feel like it's created a problem in our generation because as far as expressing emotions, people in our generation don't know how to do that without doing it behind their phone. It's a lot easier to text a whole paragraph, put your phone down and walk away and be
Yeah.
like, okay, I'll check back later, than it is to sit there and have a conversation with a person and be like, this is how you made me feel, stuff like that. So I feel like to answer the question in simple form, I feel like we're more connected as far as virtual life goes. But when we're talking about realistically in-person life, we're less connected.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. And that actually can segue to the next question. So do you think social media has like skewed our perception of being social and knowing how to talk to others? Or do you think that's kind of like a over time thing? It just kind of happened.
I think over time it kind of happened, but technology definitely played a role. Because I was actually talking to my parents about this the other day. I was like, guys just don't know how to approach females no more. Like, walk up talking about, hey, shawty, what's up? No, do not approach me like that, sir. Do not approach me the same way you would approach my DMs. That is not what you need to do.
Yeah.
But, and they were like, no, that used to happen like back in the day, dudes walking up being disrespectful. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. But at the same time, it's like on social media, you can hit a person up and be like, okay, you can hit multiple people up and be like, okay, that's it. I'm going to go about my day.
Yeah.
But when you actually got to walk up to a person and like show them who you are face to face.
That's nerve wracking
No,
right
for
there.
real, you got to be like, okay, what I'm going to say,
Right.
So in social media, don't take all that. You look at somebody's Instagram, you okay, they're cute. I'm gonna hit them up. And you text or all you got to do is follow and like 3 posts nowadays.
I don't know what happened because for some reason that happens now, and I'm like, okay, like 3 posts, they like
Right.
post back, send DM, nothing. I'm like,
Right.
what
What's
happened?
the point of
Yeah,
that?
what's the point of that? Unfollow. You know what? You ain't follow me, unfollow. I'm not.
Right.
No.
Exactly. Yeah, I feel like because that happened to me the other day. This dude followed my page, liked a bunch of my posts, and I was like, okay, what does that mean? You haven't texted me, you haven't said anything, so I just ignored it. He going to DM me talking about some. Oh, so you just gonna ignore me? Yes, yes. That is not how you communicate. That is not how you communicate.
I'm so dead.
So I definitely think our generation has a problem with communication because of technology. And I feel bad for like the younger generation. I don't know how the generations go, but I think it's like Alpha or something. Generation Alpha.
Oh,
Because we're Gen Z.
yeah. No,
What's the generation after us?
I thought that was like AA. I have no idea. Couldn't tell you.
Double A?
Alpha makes sense, I guess.
I don't know. But anyway,
yeah.
the younger ones, they grew up with iPads in their hands. Like they're iPad kids
Yeah.
at heart. Like, and especially the ones born during COVID, all they had was virtual stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like they kind of don't know how to interact with people because like they make it a trend on TikTok talking about COVID babies and stuff like that when they're out in public and they got to see people and stuff like that. But that's a real thing. They're not used to like human interaction.
Right.
So I feel like technology definitely has played a role in our generation and the generation after, like how we communicate and stuff like that. But yeah.
All right. Yeah, that makes sense. I can feel that because I feel like social media in a way and technology has kind of like made the division more, or just more divided, I guess you can say, because I guess when social media first came out, like it was I posted this whatever, but you still go like to school or whatever and you talk to your people in person or
Right.
whatever. Now it's like I don't even see them people in
Right.
person no more. It's like, only reason I know there's something's going on is because I look at their social
Right.
media.
It's 'cause
So
they
rather
post.
than me calling them or whatever, like calling usually don't work now. It's like you can't call
Right.
nobody. Like, no, you need to text first.
Right? Like what? No,
Right,
pick
like,
up
what's
the
that?
phone.
Pick up the phone. What are you doing? Like,
Right.
nah. Like, and I understand to some extent to like I might be busy. Okay, fine. Call me back. You know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
Yeah, and then, so I think that's like a getting order type things. Before I was like, don't call me. Like, what you calling me for? I think it's
Right.
an emergency when you're calling me because you can
Right.
text me. But like now is you're calling me and you got to tell me something ASAP. Obviously, because if you couldn't text it, then
Right,
boom,
exactly.
you better call me. But I don't feel like it's a don't call me type deal. If you FaceTime me, I feel like it's you don't really need
Yeah.
anything. But
It's
if you
just a
calling me,
Right.
I need to answer. So
yeah.
especially if I missed your call, like and you called me again or from voicemail. Like
Yeah.
I don't even think people know how to leave voicemails anymore. Honestly, like they just like, oh, what answer? Okay, boom.
Right.
Like, I'm like, they ain't leave voicemail. What you want?
Right.
What you need?
Tell me.
Right? Tell me what it is. But no,
yeah.
I agree with you. To be honest with you, I think social media, like you said, has like connected people like across the world. Like I can meet somebody across the whole world, which is in a whole different time zone or whatever. And I have or whatever, which is weird because I'm like I don't know you. I'd never
Right.
see you.
Never.
Like, but no, I think that's like super cool. With that, and it's funny how like Elon Musk or whatever is kind of progressing with the technology, and it's like it's not stopping.
Yeah.
So I just have a feeling that later, like in the movies or whatever, we're going to be like school is going to be virtual.
Yeah.
Like you're going to go. Yeah, I'm going to school. Okay, you'll go in your room.
Right.
Hit the button.
Click on it, right. I
Like,
mean, we already had that with COVID.
facts. Yeah.
So-
While we're in the canvas.
Yeah. Zoom.
Zoom. For Zoom, and then the Zoom's getting hacked. Oh my
Bro.
god, that was so bad.
that was bad.
That was terrible. It'd be so funny, and it was just. But sadly, I think that's where we're going.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's hard for people to have those like conversations.
Those conversations. And they're
Right.
needed conversations.
Yes.
Because we talk about the mental health crisis a lot.
Yeah.
But nobody talks about how technology is affecting the mental health crisis.
Mm-hmm.
You got people out here not willing to have a conversation because they're so used to posting on social media, looking happy, da da da. They're not used to having these vulnerable conversations with people because they're used to talking on the phone about it, like
Yeah.
through text or like
Yeah.
anonymous, anonymously,
Yeah, anonymously.
anonymously posting it on Instagram or whatever,
Yeah.
But it's a very needed conversation. Like those are very needed conversations. When someone's going through a mental health crisis, they need someone to talk to in person.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of things you can't read on social media. Body language. Body language is a huge factor. Like somebody could sit in front of you and tell you, "Oh yeah, I'm happy, I'm straight." Whole time they're going like this, "Yeah, I'm happy, I'm straight." No, you're not.
Or they're too still. You're
Right,
like,
right,
what you got going on
right.
over there?
Or they're very like, just, "I'm happy, I'm straight." No, you're not.
Yeah, obviously
You're
you're not.
not.
Like, you see your facial
Because the
expression.
tone of your voice, your face, your fidgeting, it's all telling me you're not
Yes.
straight.
And that's only something you can really only get by looking at them
Exactly,
right there.
exactly. That's why a lot of times, like with therapists, online therapy, cool. You can still talk to somebody. It's on a camera. You can see from here up.
Right.
You don't see them fidgeting. You don't see them shaking their leg. You don't see none of that. So it's like, I feel like in-person therapy is important. But a lot of times people are scared of that because they don't want to be vulnerable in front of a person
Yeah.
in real life. So as far as social media playing a role in like communication, we could also talk about how social media plays a role on like perception. Like you see all these celebrities posting stuff. You see all these influencers posting stuff. You feel like you've fallen behind. I'm 21.
Yeah.
There's 21-year-olds on social media right now.
Balling.
Boston. I'm like, yo.
Yeah.
I drive
what
a
am I doing?
Honda Accord. What are you doing in a BMW? Like,
Right.
So it's like, and then I sit there and I'm like, am I really falling behind? Am I doing that bad? Like,
Yeah.
come on now. And then you see maybe even people at school. You got people with the 4.0 GPAs in like 6 clubs, part of a sorority fraternity. I'm like, how you doing all of that? Like, I'm struggling. Not struggling, but like, I'm not doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
So it's like, am I really falling behind? And then I talk to my friends and I'm like, y'all, this is what I got going on, but this person got this going on. And they like, Lauren, worry about your own timeline. That's their timeline.
Yeah.
So again, with communication, having those conversations with your friends, understanding that social media is not real.
Yeah.
Like it's a highlight reel. I'm so serious. It's a highlight reel. People post what they want to post. They post what they want you to see.
Right.
They're not going to post the moments when they fail a class
Yeah.
or when they, not making money. They're not going to post that.
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of times we don't have those conversations or those people who post that stuff don't post like, y'all, this is just a part of my life. This is not my life. But they're not going to do that. Because once again, it's a highlight reel.
Yeah, they're trying to make sure they look, as cute as possible, making
Right.
X amount of money, got the best, mood or whatever all the time. Like, no, like you look at somebody's page and see like their pictures all look good because they want to make sure, I look good. I'm posting everybody else can see that I look good, rather than I look like trash right now. I ain't got no makeup on, like, which I can say depending on the person. Snapchat used to be like that or whatever, when you just kind of posted like everything
Right,
on Snap,
yeah.
and Instagram was kind of for the
The
good,
main stuff,
yeah, the good
right?
stuff, yeah. But I don't know. Nobody uses Snapchat anymore, apparently.
No.
Which is kind of
Just fell
sad.
off.
Yeah. I still use it,
I'll check it occasionally, but no. I'll look at like my memories and be like, oh, that happened.
See?
Okay.
Yeah, like 5 years ago.
Right.
Like, where did this come from? I
Right.
forgot about that. I didn't know I had this.
Right.
But
yeah.
I feel you. But I feel like the perception thing that's deep because even now, like, I still feel like I'm in a race, and I know I shouldn't be, I guess, in a sense, because I'm like, I'm trying to, in my timeline of life anyway, the way I look at it, I don't want to have no kids after. I would love to have kids after I'm 30, but like I don't want to start having kids after I'm 30. Like no, I want to have kids in my 20s. I want to be married in my 20s. Like I want all that to happen now, so because I'm ready to like. Mentally, I'm ready to settle down, but like obviously financially,
Right.
I ain't there yet. So I'm like, well, I want to be there as soon as possible. And looking at everybody else is like, they 18, so it just got the certain licenses or whatever, or they making X amount of money. They got so and so business. I'm like, well, shoot, what am I doing? Like they doing that, I can't do that or whatever. Or you got these kids my age, TikTok famous, million followers or whatever. I'm like. How they get that? How much money they making? I'm like, shoot.
Right.
Or, YouTubers or whatever. I'm like, well, dang, well, what's going on? And then I see some other posts, which are some really good posts saying like the people that are like super rich now or whatever, they didn't like get rich until like their 50s or whatever.
Right.
So it was like they were they were working, for 40 plus years, and then they were able to, tap into something later on or actually be able to, release what they were working on. And I think about it, okay, that makes sense. I can somewhat feel that, but like how much of your life is gone by then?
Right, exactly.
So that's my huge deal when I think about, timeline. Like I perceive my life to kind of be like I'm in a constant race and it's like getting faster and faster or whatever, because I'm like, yo, my time for now. I'm about to be 20.
Right.
I'm like, well, shoot, man. I said I want to be married like 2023 or what? I don't know.
Right.
Like, what's going on? So I'm like, like I need to figure out what am I doing, but I don't know. It's just I don't know how to get behind, I guess, on the fact of everybody does have their own timeline, but when I look at it, it's like my timeline, I feel like it needs to be a little bit faster, just for me anyway. Because other people, they don't want kids or they don't want to get married. I'm like, okay, that's cool. So you got plenty of time to do whatever you want to do.
But I do.
Right. I want to be a millionaire as soon as possible. Like I'm not trying to be sitting here working 9 to 5 all the time. Like I'm trying to have money so I can chill for 40 years. I don't want to be retired for 10 years. I want to be retired for 40. Like that would make more sense.
Right.
And I think the path I'm on now hopefully can get me there, because I felt when I was like astronomy, like going to school for like 7-8 years, I'm like,
That's a lot.
that's a long time.
That's a long time.
That's a super long time. I'm like, I don't know if I can do that. And I was talking to my uncle about it not too long ago, and we were talking like how long he stayed in school, because he works at NASA, and I was like, so you really like was in school for real? He was like, yeah, I was.
Oh boy.
I'm like, well, I mean, shoot, man, because he went to A&T, he graduated from A&T with his doctorate. I was like, yo, you was in school for a minute, so like you really gotta love what you're doing to really be like into something like that.
Yes.
And so I guess I don't really know, me personally, where to put the most time. That makes sense. So like when we were talking about the timeline, it's like, so where do I put the most of the time in? Do I put it in the school, or do I put it like where I'm at here? Working it, into myself. Or like, since I'm not quite making money from, you know, my creative stuff yet. Do I go work a 9 to 5, or do I just kind of like stay with my parents?
Right.
So,
right.
So it's kind of, I don't know. I'm trying to figure out like, what do I do? I guess in that sense, that makes sense.
And I guess pertaining to that, like feeling like you're falling behind or feeling like you're not moving fast enough. Social media definitely tells us to move faster. It definitely does. And I feel like that's why we struggle with not staying in the moment. A lot of times we're like planning out our life. Like I had a plan. I had a plan. Okay. I was like, okay, I'm gonna graduate. I'm gonna be 22 when I graduate. Okay, I'm gonna have kids at some point before I'm 30. So I'm gonna have kids, but I want to finish PA school first. And I'm thinking, my life about to move fast. I'm 21. I gotta start making plans. I want to have kids when I'm like 26, 27. You know, late 20s. I'm 21. I ain't dating nobody. Who I'm having a baby with.
Right,
so,
yeah. You want to be married first.
Right, I want to be married first. So I'm like, Lauren, what are we doing? You know, catch up, you know. But I'm like, no. Because life is short enough. Life is so short when you think about it. Like, just yesterday, I was 10. I'm so serious. Not worrying about nothing but playing outside, getting my homework done. Ma, can I go outside? My homework done?
Yeah.
That's all I was worried about. But now it's like, when I think about it, I'm like, Lauren, stay in the moment. Because if you keep thinking about, okay, well, I got to do this, I got to do that by 25, 26, your life is moving way too quick. When you have things that you're looking forward to, it moves faster because you're always looking at that point. Right. You're not staying in the moment. Yeah. So I think our generation definitely, well, I won't say our generation. I don't want to generalize anybody. But generalize. Like for me personally, like doing stuff like that makes me feel like I am falling behind. When really, if I stay in the moment and I see in this moment I'm doing really well. If I stay in that moment, I'm like, okay, I'm not behind. I'm not behind at all. Or if I talk to somebody else, I'm like, hey, you know, I need help with this. I need help with that. They're like, oh, I need help with that too. Okay, I'm not falling behind. So I think a lot of times we just move too quick. And social media helps us with that. Or, you know, puts us in that predicament to move too fast. Because we see all these people living lives that we don't have yet. And we're like, I want that. When can I get that? And you start making a plan to get that stuff. And you look at that plan and you like, oh, I'm running out of time. Hold up. I got to pick up the pace. No. Stay in the moment. You'll get it. It'll come. If it's meant to be, it'll come. You just got to stay in the moment and put in the work. You can't stay in the moment and be lazy now. Yeah, not at all. Because you stay in the moment, put in the work. Put in the work. But stay in the moment, you know?
Yeah. I think I mentioned that to one of my boys when I was on a trip back, and we were just talking. And we had so many deep conversations. And it was kind of weird because I'm talking to a guy about some deep stuff, and it's kind of you know guys don't do that. Right. So like I'm like, okay, we was talking about like, you know, the W's that like we're supposed to like look at while we're on our way to, you know, our big W, if that makes sense. Like, this is my path, my big W here, this is what I want. But don't forget to look to the side, you know, realize that, oh, I made this W too. Right. Cool. Let me take that with me or whatever. Oh, and you go forward a little bit more. Oh, I made this W too. I did. So recognizing you know, how far you've come, but, you know, to still keep moving, of course, is, I think, huge, too. Especially when you look at social media. It's like, every time you look at social media, it's like, dang, I'm taking the L. Right. Like, no, you're fine. You're not, you're good. You're not taking the L. Right. You're just, you know, like you said, when you're on a different wave. That's not your path. Right. You don't know what your path is probably yet. You probably ain't going to know until you're there.
Exactly. Until you're there. Looking at it. Yeah, like,
looking at it. You're like, dang, this is what I wanted to do? I didn't know. I had no idea.
Right. Like in my head, like, my long-term goal is to finish PA school, open my own practice. Realistically, that's not going to happen until I'm, like, late 30s. Like, realistically. But, you know, I got to sit back and realize, okay, I got to be a CNA first in order to get where I want to go. Right. Is that what I want to do? No. No. But I have to do it to get where I want to go. Right. But it's still a W that I'm a CNA in the first place. Because I could not be a CNA. I could not have passed the class. I could not have passed the test. Yeah. And not be a CNA and stuck in like, well, what am I going to do now? But, and my friends make me realize a lot of times they're like, Lauren, slow down. Because I move super fast. Super fast. This summer, I sat down and had a conversation with them. Because I texted them. I was like, y'all, I feel like this summer is almost over. Like, you know, I've been working all summer. I ain't done nothing. I ain't done nothing but work. And it was like, Lauren, you do realize, like, you've been working hard all summer. You taking classes, you going to work, working these long hours, putting up with all the stuff you got to put up with at work. And I'm like, yeah, but everybody does that. They're like, no. There's people sitting at home right now chilling, eating a popsicle, watching TV.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know what? You're right. You're right. So I do have to realize the small moments are W's too. Like you said, like, we can't just push those aside and be like, that's small. That's not a W. Yes, it is.
Yes,
Take the moment and run with it.
Oh, yeah. I like that. That was good. I like that. That was good. Even though we kind of got off topic there, it's fine.
Right,
it's
right,
perfectly
right,
fine. That was great conversation. So my next question I have is, how can miscommunication lead to misunderstandings and conflicts between people? And do you have any examples of your own, if you would like to share? And just like at one time, probably got like miscommunication between like family or whatever, guys. I don't know. Especially guys.
Miscommunications and misunderstandings. Okay. I'm not going to share my experience with guys because there was actually this past weekend, I had to attend my cousin's funeral. So we had to decorate one of the buildings for the repast. And, my aunt was there and my cousin's other side of the family was there. So got there and started, getting things together. And this guy walks up, older white guy walks up. And he was like, why are y'all here? Who's in charge? And we were like, what do you mean, why are we here? Like, we booked this building, da-da-da. So we all point at the aunt who was in charge. And she walked up to him and she was like, hi, I talked to so-and-so and we had this building reserved for tomorrow for the repast and stuff. And he was like, well, you don't have my authority to be here. I run this building, da-da-da. Somewhere they got their wires crossed. She talked to one person. That person works under the guy that she was talking to. So he didn't know that we were supposed to be there. So she had told him, she showed him all the receipts, all the communication that she had with the other person. And he was like, no, that's not who you needed to talk to. You're not supposed to be here. Y'all need to leave, da-da-da. And she was like, no, sir, we need this building. Like, we have to be here. So he really misunderstood where she was coming from. He just wasn't hearing her.
Gotcha.
Personally, I think she was calm. She was doing what she needed to do. But he just misunderstood that, I feel like communication can go both ways, especially if you have someone working under you. Check with that person first. Right. Before you start going off on people.
Yeah. You hear, as soon as you hear a name said, like so-and-so said this, right. Oh, I know that person.
Let me go talk to them.
Yeah.
Right. So just some miscommunication, some communication that didn't happen, clearly. Yeah. But as far as a personal experience, I do have one. I'm not going to mention any names.
Of course not.
Can't do that. Let's see. I have a few. I'm trying to pick and choose. You want to say one first?
Yeah, I was going to offer that.
Okay. Let me
talk about, So, like, I do think, miscommunication obviously leads to misunderstandings and conflict all the time. So, especially, like, it'd be like the most simplest thing, like, did you clean your room, as a kid? And you're like, yeah, I cleaned it. Just come in, like, everything under the bed. I mean, like, I cleaned it or whatever, but, I misunderstood,
right.
what clean meant.
What you meant by clean, right?
Yeah, like, what you mean by clean? Clean your whole room or whatever. So, like, that's just like a short thing, because then that can cause some conflict between you and your mother. Because, woof.
Yeah.
But I say, I guess personally, recently, it's always something, usually something small. And it's annoying. Like, miscommunication is really something small, and it's just like, well, like I said, no names, but I was supposed to go to the movies with somebody, and she was like, "You want to go watch?" No, yeah, I was like, "We can go watch this movie," and she was like, "All right, cool," and then she said, "What time?" We were picking a time, and she was like, "So where are we going afterwards?" I said, I didn't know we were going anywhere afterwards. And she was like, Why you got attitude? I was like, I ain't got no attitude.
Right.
I just said I ain't never going anywhere afterwards. Like, you said a movie. You didn't say anything about going get anything afterwards,
Right.
going to do anywhere. Like, I was gonna say take you home, but I feel like that was gonna be a little rude. So
You're going home.
yeah, you're going like we're going to the movie. You're going home. Like, you don't drive, so you can't
Right.
demand like you want to go somewhere.
Right.
You gonna give me gas money? No,
No.
I'm paying for the ticket. So I mean, like,
Right.
you know, come on now. But that was just something right there. Was like, it was small, but it's like that communication just wasn't there, because I wasn't saying it as in I don't want to go anywhere. I just it wasn't said that we were. So rather than saying, you know, where you want to go afterwards, is do you want to go somewhere afterwards?
Right.
If so, where you want to go?
Right.
You know, so
Yeah.
like that small little, you know, extra couple words can make all the difference. Because
Right.
not then you,
That's a fact.
now you in a whole
Wording
argument.
is so important. Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Wording is so important.
And the worst part was through text.
I was just about to ask that. I was like, this conversation had to be through text.
Yes.
Tone is so lost in text.
Yes.
You
yes,
can't
it
tell
is.
one bit of tone through text.
Yeah.
Like-
Emoji might be wrong or something like capitalize something wrong. Bro. Like, yeah.
why'd you capitalize that? Accidentally put a period after. Why are you mad?
Right.
I didn't mean to do that. I'm not mad, I promise. But yeah, text is not where you need to have conversations.
Yeah.
Pick up the phone.
Yeah.
Call people.
Pick the phone call. Like, hold on. That's not what I meant.
Right.
Let me tell you what I meant. Hold on. Run
Right.
that back. Let's had a conversation from the beginning.
Right.
This is what I meant by that. Da, 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 da. And then from there, boom.
Right.
But some people, like you said, some people can't have those conversations.
They don't
like,
know
once
how.
it blows up, they like shut down. You
Right.
like, hold on. Let's figure this out before.
Because that's
before
what you do with your
get-
phone. You
Yeah.
having those conversations, you don't want to have it no more.
Boom.
Put the phone
Done.
down. Turn it off.
Turn it off.
I don't have to talk to you.
Nope. Turn on Netflix. I'm not talking to you for the rest of the day.
Right. Do not disturb.
Do not disturb. I hate that.
No, I'm guilty of that though. I'll put my phone on do not disturb all day.
All day.
Yes.
I wouldn't put it on for like stuff like this.
I don't know. Well, like I'll put it on for like class or something, and then I'll just leave it on.
I like the silence that it was in class. Let me just keep it on for the rest of the day.
I don't know, and I'll check every now and then. I'll check my messages or something like that. But I like the peace that it brings.
Understandable.
Because getting Instagram notifications all day, TikTok notifications, I don't need all that. Especially if I'm like trying to stay focused on something. Like if I just came from class, I'm in the library, I'm leaving do not disturb on.
Okay, yeah, something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would try to.
Yeah.
My phone's always on silent. Like I never have the
Right.
sound on. So.
Right, no. I
Yeah,
do not
no.
turn my sound on.
Yeah, so
Unless
that-
like I set an alarm for something and
Yeah.
I need to make sure the sound is on. Then yeah.
Well, even then, though, the noise still goes off.
You know, my phone be acting up sometimes.
You got a newer phone than me.
I know. It acts up sometimes. Sometimes it's not in my favor. I promise. I promise.
Terrible. So, what is your example of a time where misunderstanding, miscommunication led to a misunderstanding and, some conflict?
Okay. No names. Got it. So, I was talking to this guy, right? And, we were getting to know each other. He was moving really fast.
Oof.
Yeah. So I told him, I said, hey, can we slow this down a little bit? Because, I'm not trying to rush into anything, and I'd rather be friends before I get into a relationship, just so we have a foundation,
Right.
So he was like, yeah, for sure. No problem. He wasn't mad about it or anything. So I'm getting to know this dude, and he's talking about, in one of our conversations, I asked him about previous relationships, because that's a question you got to ask, So I was like, yeah, so how many relationships have you had, or, and then what happened, why'd y'all break up, stuff like that. Just to see if there were any red flags I needed to,
Yeah.
So I asked him, he was like, yeah, I've been in a few relationships. Well, I wouldn't call them relationships. He called them experiments. I said, oh boy, okay. I said, what you mean by experiments?
Ooh.
He was like, yeah, just testing the waters, seeing what was out there. I said, okay. Mind you, this guy is older than me. He's like 24.
Oof.
Yeah. So I asked him, I said, okay,
Experiments.
so why'd the experiments end? And he was like, well, I was with older women, so I was like, I can't offer them anything. They can't offer me anything. Boom, we break up. I was like, okay. And I was like, when you say older women, you mean like mid-20s? Because mind you, he's 24. So I'm like, what is
Yeah.
older to him?
Right.
So, because older to me, It's 24, 25,
Yeah.
26. I'm 21. So he goes, yeah, I've been with a 50-year-old, a 40-year-old, a 32-year-old, and then he was like a 26-year-old. But get this, he was with a 26-year-old when he was 16. I said, oh, okay.
What?
Okay.
Bro must be majestic or something.
No, for
ain't
real.
no way. Bro
For
got to
real.
be fine as all get out messing with a 26-year-old.
I mean,
at 16.
he's not ugly.
Wow.
But no, so he said that, and I was like, oh, wow, okay. And it kind of took me like a minute to process that, because
Yeah.
I've never been with anybody who's been with people older than
MILFs. Yes.
yeah. Like, you were with a 50-year-old? Like,
oof.
that don't. So then I asked him, I was like, you know, what does that look like? Like,
Yeah.
why? And mind you, this conversation was through text.
Oof.
Yeah.
Mm.
So when I asked him why, he was like, what you mean, why? That's the way I read it in my head. What you mean, why? I was like, why? Like, why'd you date them? Like, they're older than you.
Yeah.
And he was like, because I wanted to. That's what I wanted to do. And I was like, okay.
You can't really argue with that one, but
Yeah. But in my brain, I'm thinking, sir, you're a victim.
Mm.
You're a victim. 16, 26, you're a victim.
Yeah.
But I didn't say that. But he picked up the phone and called me. And he said, why are you condemning me for something that I chose to do? I said, well, wait, I'm not condemning you. I asked you why. And he said, you are condemning me, your tone. I said, we're texting. This is on the phone.
I'm so dead.
This is on the phone, so we're texting. You can't read my tone. And he was like, yes, I can. I know you. I said, sir, we've been talking for 3 weeks. You don't know me enough to read my tone.
Bro. Oh my God.
So miscommunication, misunderstanding, he thought I was condemning him for something. While on my end, I'm just asking a simple question, why?
Right.
Because I've never had that experience with anybody who's dated older people like that.
Yeah.
In multiple times. So I'm asking him why. He's thinking I'm coming down on him for something. So we had to literally pick up the phone so we could hear each other talking, have an adult conversation about, I'm not condemning you. I just want to know why.
Right.
I felt like you were condemning me by asking me why. So we had to have that conversation. So it was a miscommunication, misunderstanding, not turn conflict though.
That's good.
I think a lot of times we mix up conflict with conversation.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times people will think having a conversation is conflict
Right.
if it's pertaining to something negative. Miscommunication, negative miscommunication, negative misunderstandings, you go to have a conversation, that's not conflict.
Mm-hmm.
It's conflict resolution.
Yeah.
Like, you're having a conversation. It's simple.
Yeah.
You're not arguing, or
Nope.
trying not to argue at least.
Yeah. Trying your best. Not to,
Right.
Yeah.
Because some conversations turn into arguments, and you're like, you know what?
Or they say something, you like,
You know what?
Yeah.
You struck a nerve with that one.
Yeah, I don't know about. I can't agree with that one, but we gonna keep it
Right,
moving, right?
right.
Tell me more. Like,
Right.
What you mean by
What
that?
you mean by that? Explain yourself.
Yeah, explain yourself, because you about to get hung up
Right.
on.
This red button looking like
Yeah, it's looking
real appetizer right now.
Right, I'm just that's when you pull up the actual you hit the phone thing. You said something crazy. Hold on.
Wait, what you mean? The whole time they on speaker. Hold up.
Oh yeah,
I ain't hear you right. What you
Hold on,
mean by
say
that?
again.
Oh
That
my
is
gosh.
so funny. Oh my god.
But yeah.
That's happened many times before.
Yeah.
He's like, hold on, say that again. I need
Right.
to.
I ain't hear you right. What
Yeah,
you?
especially when you're around some people. Hold
Oh
on,
my
what you just
gosh.
say?
No, right? Don't let us be around people. Wait, what? No. Hold up.
Hold on. You need to calm that down.
Right.
Real quick. Hold on.
I don't know who you talking
Yeah,
to.
we supposed to have a conversation. Hold on.
Right.
Man. So talking about like miscommunication, obviously you have to work on, socializing. So in what way does socialization tie in with jobs in the workplace? With coworkers and customers and patients?
I think that definitely depends on what job you have. Some jobs don't require you to socialize with anybody. You
Yeah.
can literally sit at a desk all day, worry about yourself, not talk to anybody, clock out.
Keep
But
moving.
no, I'll talk about from my personal experience, my personal occupation. As a CNA, you communicate with everybody. You communicate with coworkers, supervisors, patients' families. So it's a lot of, if you're introverted, like myself, it's a task. But just honestly, I think socializing is a part of whatever you do. Whatever job you have to socialize.
Right.
To get the job, you have to socialize. The interview. That's the interview first. But no, for my job personally, I'm an introvert naturally an introvert. But I'm extroverted around people I'm comfortable with. So finding that area of comfort at work is where I find myself to be more social. So reminding myself, like, you got this, you know, you've been here for a little minute, you know what you're doing. Just have the conversation, ask the questions, you know? But like at my job, we don't depend on technology to communicate other than like charting, you know, stuff like that, patient care stuff. That's technology we use to communicate what's going on with patients. But talking to a patient, you literally have to have a conversation. There's no way you can use a screen, a phone, a computer, anything to communicate with a patient. So socializing with patients is more like, I would say, socializing with family. You talk to them with a sense of care, talk to them with a sense of excitement. You don't want to sound bland talking to a patient like you don't want to be there. But I definitely say socializing with people in certain aspects of different careers. Healthcare, you need to socialize. You have to. There's no option. You don't have a choice. You don't have a choice.
Cause you gotta like provide like comfort.
Right. Like you don't want to walk up in there. Okay, these are your test results. Have a nice day.
You're gonna die.
Right. Like you don't want to be that person. You don't want to be that guy. So definitely socializing with people it's a task for me personally, because if I'm not comfortable with you, it's hard for me to find that level of comfort to be extroverted. But at work, I find ways to push through that.
Gotcha.
Jumping over my comfort zone, talking to families about patient care, or the things I can talk about. And, you know, just figuring out how to have those tough conversations sometimes also, which is also, you know, part of social media, technology, all that stuff. We don't want to have those tough conversations with families like, this is what's happening. Unfortunately, this is what's happening. But, you know, it has to happen. So, and you can't hide behind a screen. So you have to be able to face that person, look them in the eye and tell them what's going on. Because in healthcare, you do not want to miscommunicate. If you miscommunicate, something bad is going to happen. So you have to be clear. You have to be concise. You have to be caring as well. And as far as like technology goes with that, people don't know how to empathize anymore. You have to learn how to empathize, have sympathy, have empathy for people, put yourself in their shoes, you know, realize this is a conversation I'm having with another person, not a person behind a screen, not a person through text, a person in front of me who has emotions. Like you have to realize that. So I would definitely say socializing is very important, especially in healthcare. Now I don't know so much about other jobs. I only have experience with healthcare and then like food. I worked in food for a little bit in high school. You definitely have to communicate. Sometimes communication can get a little intense. You forgot to put this on my ma'am. Okay. Just hold on, relax, talk to me.
Well, your tone.
Right. A lot of people, well, I will not say talk to me, talk with me.
Yeah.
A lot of people talk to people, don't know how to talk with people. Talking to a person is different than talking with a person.
Yeah.
Because you can talk to someone all day.
Right.
You just talking to them. Right. Right. So I feel like a lot of times people don't know how to have actual conversations. They're comfortable with talking. They just don't know how to talk with someone, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Like they just be expressing themselves all
right.
but like
right.
it's
just,
not getting nowhere.
Right,
like, nobody's
exactly.
really catching it because the way you're expressing yourself.
Right,
yes.
exactly.
That makes perfect sense.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the other thing with like conflict. Like when you're having conflict, lower your tone.
Yeah.
Do not raise your voice. It's not going to get into that person's head, what you're saying.
Nope.
Lower your tone.
Because immediately when you're saying stuff, they're thinking of responses to
Yes.
come back or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah. Me on the other hand, I will stop talking. So
Exactly. When someone's talking to me like that,
I zone out. I'm like, I don't know
Right.
I don't know who you're talking to.
I don't know who you're yelling at,
Right,
but it's
'cause
not me.
it's not. You must be talking to the wall
Right.
or something.
Because I've zoned out of this conversation.
I walked away. I physically left the
Right.
conversation because I'm not. No, you're not
Right.
yelling at me. Because you can't get nothing done.
You can't.
Like when my emotions be.
Right.
No,
Especially if you're listening to respond.
Yeah.
Because you're not actually listening. You're coming up with responses. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
about to say this.
Yeah.
Oh, he said that. I'm about to say this.
Exactly.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Like you got like being able to actively like listen to what somebody says and
Mm-hmm.
come up with a response after they say what they say, rather than while they're, because you're not listening while you come, like you
Right.
said, you're not listening when you're responding to in your head
Right.
to them talking and like right there. No, you're not getting anything. So you have to like listen first, then compute what they just said.
Right.
And okay, this is my response or whatever.
Right.
Obviously that can happen like immediately sometimes. I'm like, okay, hold on, give me a second or whatever.
Right.
Me, it might take me a day sometimes.
No,
So
right.
I gotta soak in everything you just told me.
Right, exactly.
Give me a day to think about it,
Exactly.
and then I got you tomorrow or whatever. But
Exactly.
that's deep.
Yeah.
That's pretty deep.
Like when I'm dealing with conversations like that, I'll say, okay, I hear you saying this, that.
Mm-hmm.
I understand you saying this, that, and that. Now give me a second to process what you just said so I can respond.
Yeah.
But if I'm not processing what you're saying and I'm just listening to respond, I'm coming at you like, well, first of all, you don't have to say this. Second of all, this is what happened. No.
It didn't even happen like that.
Right.
It happened like this. I don't know what you talking about.
Right. I'm coming at you mad aggressive
Yeah.
because I'm listening to respond and I'm
Yeah.
angry
Yeah.
for whatever reason. Or not angry, but, like intensely having a conversation. But like,
Conversation.
because I don't get angry very often. I'm not an angry person. So I try
Yeah.
to just like,
Mhm.
but no, listening to respond is not the way to go.
Yeah.
I oftentimes just say, okay, I hear you saying this. And they'll say, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Or if it's not what they're trying to communicate to me, they'll take the time to say, no, that's not what I'm saying. And then I listen to them
Right.
to hear what they're actually saying. That way, we're having a productive conversation.
Exactly.
Because if you're saying something I'm not understanding and I don't communicate that I don't understand what you're saying, I'm not comprehending anything.
Yeah, at all. You're
That's
like,
not
I
a
don't know what
conversation.
you really just said. Like I heard what you said, but
Right.
like, I don't.
Right.
It ain't clicking in me.
Right, exactly.
So, yeah, that's
Exactly.
huge.
Because everybody thinks differently.
Yeah.
Like no one person thinks the same.
No,
So you're not going to understand everything a person is telling you.
that's deep. I like that.
That's a fact.
That's a fact.
That's a fact.
But I got an example about that too, because like I was in the car with my bro, like he was saying some things. I'm like, huh? Like, I'm just like, what are you talking about? And he's driving too, so like obviously his brain's trying to drive. But he would just say some things. I'm like, bro, I don't get where you coming at. Like, what are you
Right.
talking about? Like he'll say something just outrageous. I'm like, all right, now I won't say anything. I'll let him keep talking.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
got
we
it.
agree. We
Right.
agree. We're good. I was about to say, bro, you're going to have to get out your own car. Cause
Right.
ain't no way.
'Cause no way you just said that.
Yeah, like, you talking reckless. I was like, okay,
Right.
I see where you're getting there. All right, I got you.
Right.
So, yeah, because immediately, somebody would just probably just respond immediately right after that. And you're like, hold on, let them finish saying what they're trying to say, because they might have said something totally wrong. You're like,
Right.
hold on. Let me fix what I just said.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, that
Exactly.
makes perfect sense. I do that too sometimes.
Yeah.
I'd be like, say something, and he'd be like, huh? I'm like, hold on. Let me get out the words. Let me
Right.
finish, because my vocabulary ain't that good. So
Right.
finding the words is big.
Yeah.
So,
And that's the other thing, like with social media, we're so quick to be like, I want an answer now. Social media is very like instant.
instant.
You get everything instantly.
Yeah.
These conversations don't happen instantly. They take
Yeah.
hours, days, however long it takes for, communication to happen properly. But with social media, we're so used to getting answers right away. We're not used to waiting, taking the time to process. That's why people don't want to have the conversations. It takes too long.
It takes long.
It
Time
takes too
consuming.
long. I ain't got
mean,
time
yeah.
for that. You
Ain't nobody
should
got
have time
for
though.
that. Yeah, especially if it's like a conversation that needs to be had. You should
Right.
Put the
Make
time
the
aside
time.
for it. Yeah.
Right.
Because if not, then you really don't. You don't care.
Right.
You don't care.
Exactly.
Yeah, put one shoulder up. Put the other shoulder up.
No, drop them.
I don't care. But no, that's real, because I even thought about when you said that, like the allegations against like men or women, like immediately they're like in social media's head, immediately they're convicted. Boom.
Right.
Like, hold on, you didn't even hear
Right.
them out.
You don't even know.
You don't even know what's going on. You just
Right.
see so and so has accused so and so, and you're like,
Right.
you know, oh well, they're going to. No, they're like, come on,
Like,
now, hold
right.
on, calm down.
Did you even read an article yet?
Right? Did you even read the article? You just saw a headline.
Right. You
That's
saw
all.
what is it? Shade Room on Instagram.
Yeah, you saw
Shade Room posted it. Oh,
Yeah.
automatically agree.
Automatically. I'm like,
no,
hold on.
Do the research.
Yeah, read the caption.
Right.
It's
At
right
least
there.
read the caption. Go in the comments.
Yes, go in the comments.
Like,
See what they saying.
Right.
But no, if he
like
immediately.
with Lizzo, her
yeah.
allegations just came out.
Yeah.
And for a while, everybody was like, "Oh, I can see that she a bully." Da 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 da. She going to jail. She got this lawyer that represented Bill Cosby and all them.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
I didn't even know about that.
They was like, "Oh, she did it. She did it." Come out later, they talking about the dancers who were filing the lawsuit lied. Nobody knew that.
Wow.
Nobody knew that. But all those people saying, "Oh yeah, she did it." Now they coming out talking about, "Oh, they lied. She's innocent." Da da da. She always stood for the people. Da da da. Was you not just talking about?
Everybody was getting on Lizzo. Talking about,
Right.
I seen it. Like, you ain't
Right.
seen
What you-
nothing. What you seen?
You're lying. You're lying. But yeah, so I don't know. Social media just is so instant. Nobody takes the time to think. Nobody takes the time to talk.
Yeah.
It's so instant, and that's part of my problem with it. Like you get things right away, and that's not real. That's not realistic. You're not
all.
going to get things right away.
Yeah. You're not going to understand them. You're not going
No.
to receive them. You're not going to respond right away. It's just-
Right.
Yeah, it's
That's
never
not
going to be that
realistic.
instant. And it kind of made me think about when you said like how social media is so fast. I mean, like when you look up something on Google, you get immediate.
Immediately, right.
And it even tell you how long it took.
Right.
0.00000. Like,
Right.
like it took that many. Like that was very fast.
Right.
Like, yeah. Like it takes that long to get X amount of results, and you thinking that when you talk to somebody, that's how it's going to be. Like,
No.
it's not going to be that fast.
No, life
Like,
happens.
Yeah. Like humans are not technology.
Right. We're not at all.
Ooh, we're getting there though. Sadly.
That's terrifying.
That's very terrifying.
It's terrifying.
Gonna have some robots walking around.
Oh my gosh.
Woo.
I can't do a robot. No,
All right.
can't.
We already seen that Will Smith movie.
Oh my
God. We're not getting there.
Bro.
Nope. We already seen that happen.
Oh my gosh. That's terrifying.
But like you said, being social is a part of our everyday lives. But like, what ways do you think we can make it easier? I mean, we've talked about so many, but if you can find one, because you kind of just took all my answers. Just
My bad. My bad.
but no, like like make it like social life, I guess, somewhat easier for somebody that maybe may not be it may not be easy for them to like communicate with other people, even if it's through social media, if it's talking face to face, because there's some people, when you say they don't know how to communicate, I don't think people necessarily don't know how. It's just they don't know how to communicate with that certain person.
Right.
It's like, well, I communicate this way. Well, I communicate this way.
Right.
So how do y'all communicate? Not
Right.
rather than not how to
You,
communicate.
right.
Right. So
It's very individual.
Yes.
People think very individually. No.
instantly.
Don't do that.
Or they always looking outward. Like inward.
Yeah, right.
Yes. But yeah.
An easier way to communicate. A couple things. One, being open-minded. If you're so closed off that you can't figure out how to communicate with somebody else, that's a problem. And that's a you problem. At the end of the day, that's a you problem.
Yeah.
If you find yourself having conversations with people and people are like, I can't talk to you, that's a you problem. Because you're not taking the time to, one, look in yourself and figure out how to communicate with people, and you're not taking the time to understand how that other person is feeling to communicate with them, which is also goes back to the thing I said about empathy. Empathy, putting yourself in someone else's shoes.
Yeah.
Understanding that, okay, I'm talking to this person. I need to figure out how to communicate with them. If they're not understanding what I'm saying, I need to figure out a different way to communicate what I'm saying. So I feel like a lot of times people don't take the time, once again, they don't take the time to realize, okay, I need to take a step back, figure out how to communicate.
Yeah.
They're very closed off to, this is how I communicate, take it or leave it. No, that is not how you live your life.
No.
Okay, you're going to lose a lot of people saying take it or leave it.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, no one wants to compromise how they communicate just so you can talk to them.
Yeah.
Because you're not talking with them. If you're not able to communicate with that person, you're not talking with that person, you're talking to them. And no one wants to be talked to.
Yeah.
Someone wants to have a conversation, they want to talk with you.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times I feel like people are so closed off and closed-minded that they just don't want to empathize with people. They don't want to figure out how to communicate. They're very take it or leave it.
Yeah.
So that's one of the ways, just being open-minded and accepting of other people's comfort levels, other people's, way of communication. A lot of times people who are introverted, like myself, find it easier to talk through text, which is true. But I would say through text is very hard to communicate through, because at the day it's just words you're reading on a screen.
Right.
Easier way would be to slow down when you're texting and say, this is what I'm saying. This is what I'm trying to get you to understand. Now, the other person on the other side needs to take the tone out of it. A lot of times we put tone into text messages. Yeah. There's no tone in that text.
Right.
They're words on a screen. There's no tone. Yeah. So you have to take the time to look at the text and be like, okay, they're just words. There's no tone. Now, that's hard to do when you're having an argument with somebody through text. You sitting there in one spot for hours. You said this, you said that. No. Yeah. Stop. Think about what you're about to say. Think about what they just said, what they just typed and sent to you. Mm-hmm. Read the words. Actually take the time to, okay, this is what they're trying to tell me. And if that don't work, pick up the phone. Yeah. Pick up Call the phone.
Be like, I don't understand what you just said.
Right.
I need to, we need to talk about this.
Right.
Cause that's real though. Because when I text, I don't use emojis all the time. I'm trying to use more emojis. And I see that you really don't use emojis like that either. But I'll be trying to use emojis because I feel like, I want to put more emotion. Like, even my dad texts. I'm like, your dad, I landed the plane. Cool, with a K. It's
right.
KOOL. I'm like, what? Cool. Like, that's it. Like, come on now. Mom be like, okay, be safe with a cool emoji and all that. Okay, thing. But me, like, on text, I'd be like, when somebody says something cool, whatever, my yo, like that, that's fire or whatever, or like, I send something like this hype in my head, like that I'm so interested. But when I'm actually texting it, there's nothing. It's so plain. You're like, do you even care what I just sent you? Like, yeah, I did. Like, I understood what you just said, but like, the text just says, words, and I don't capitalize my first letter, so that's not automatically capitalized. So I just text it whatever, no period, no nothing. It's just plain. I'm like, well, maybe I need to throw an emoji up there. Something. Maybe something I need to, add a little spice to it or whatever. So I've been trying to even like send audio messages now. Like,
yeah, audio messages. That's an easier way to communicate. If you don't want to talk on the phone with the person, audio messages. Especially
because typing sometimes and it take too long.
Right.
I was trying to explain something to Avery about school, and I was like, I'm driving, bro. What am I trying to text and drive for?
Right.
Bro, this is what you got to do.
Exactly. But yeah, so being open-minded, accepting, empathetic, and then taking the time to slow down and actually understand what's being communicated. Yeah. I feel like makes communication easier for certain people. Now, communication is hard anyway, just because we all think differently. But just, being open-minded, accepting, empathizing, and just slowing down. Take the time to slow down.
So you think you've mastered all of them?
No. In no way have I mastered it. In no way have I mastered communication. I'm working on it just like everybody else. But, it's hard. Some days it's harder to communicate, especially who you're communicating with.
Yeah.
I'm 21, young adult.
Sheesh.
Relax. I'm 21, young adult, talking to adults, talking with adults is hard because especially if they have a strong personality, it's hard.
Yes.
Because they've seen me grow up. They've seen me when I was 2 years old, 10 years old, teenager. Now I'm a young adult trying to find my voice, still trying to be respectful, but still trying to have a conversation as an adult with these adults. Yeah. Yes. And they're not used to that. They're not used to, she's having a conversation with me about something serious that I don't agree with. At that point, how do we communicate with someone who's not used to me having my own voice and me trying to have my own voice? How do you communicate?
Right.
So a lot of times I try my best to explain, but I'm not good with conflict. I don't like conflict. I shut down. I do.
So fast.
So fast. You're yelling at me? Oh.
Nope.
I'm
Gotta
done.
go.
Sorry.
I don't even know what you're saying anymore.
Because you're not communicating with me.
Yeah.
You're now talking to me, talking at me.
Talking down.
Yes. Ooh, talking down. Can't stand it. You gonna talk down to me? I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Like,
I don't want to hear it.
We're both grown. We're grown. Like,
right.
What do you, no.
Right. Why are you screaming at me?
Yeah.
There's no need to scream at me. There's no need to jump down my throat. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk it out.
Yeah.
This is where I'm coming from. This is where you're coming from. Can we compromise? Okay. If we can compromise, boom, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're yelling at me, talking down to me, that's not gonna work.
No.
I'm the type of person that will zone out, shut down, walk away. If you're yelling at me.
Like, even if the roles were flipped, like, you wouldn't let somebody talking down to you. So
right,
you
exactly.
can't do it to somebody
Because if I started yelling at you, ooh.
Yes.
Ooh. Ooh. Little girl, who you talking to? I'm talking to you the way you're talking to me.
Yes.
Don't feel good, do it.
Yeah, I want nothing good come out of that.
Right. But adults don't understand that. They don't understand because they're so used to us looking up to them, talking to them with respect. Now, don't get me wrong. I will always talk to adults with respect.
Yeah.
But when it comes to disagreements and I'm trying to have a voice and you're not allowing me to, I'm not saying I get disrespectful. I'm saying I will shut down and I will not talk to you.
Yeah.
Because that's not communication at the end of the day. And I'm trying to be respectful. But when you push certain buttons and I feel myself saying, ooh, this is making me upset. This is making me angry. Shut down. Because I don't like being angry. So I just shut it down.
Yeah.
Shut it down. Whatever is, no. So I feel like a lot of times adults don't know how to communicate with young adults because they're not used to them being adults. They're not used to them trying to have their own voice. So a lot of times adults don't take the time to stop, slow down, understand what the young adult is trying to say,
Right.
and then communicate with them. They're very, no, this is my way, you're going to do it. Because that's what they've done that entire time of that young adult's life.
Mm-hmm.
They've told them, this is what we're going to do. You're going to do it. The young adult does it.
Yeah.
But now that I'm 21, I have the option to say no.
Right.
I have the option to say, well, why? Why do I have to do that?
Yeah.
I don't want to. Why do I have to? And if they disagree with that, they disagree with it. That's not my problem. That's an opinion.
Yeah.
We're not arguing opinions. We're trying to come up with a resolution,
Yeah.
a compromise. Like, I'm not going to sit here and argue with you because you disagree. Your opinion is your opinion. Mine is mine.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, once again, this is America. Everybody got an opinion about something. But, right. Right. Everybody has an opinion, and they're allowed to have their opinions. But at the end of the day, if you're not willing to communicate and compromise with people, you're not going to make it anywhere.
Yeah.
If you're just so used to telling people what to do, how to do it, when to do it, why, and then you expect them to follow through with, okay, no, no. I'm at the age where I'm like, well, I don't want to do that. I'm not comfortable with it. If I'm not comfortable with something, I'm not doing it.
Right.
Simple. So if I tell you I'm not going to do it, I don't want to, I'm not comfortable, we need to find a compromise. And if you can't compromise with me, I'll make accommodations for myself. Simple. Because young adults all the time try to communicate with adults, but adults don't take the time to stop and think, wait, this is a young, mature person I'm talking to. I need to talk to them in that way.
Yeah.
But don't happen.
No.
At all.
I feel like that's has something to do with like the way like folk were just raised, back then. Like my dad talks about it all the time. Yeah, he had a question about something, boom, instant beating. Like,
right.
Why are you asking questions?
Right. Why are you asking questions? Why are you saying why?
Yeah, why are you saying why? Like, why are you taking so long to respond? Like,
right.
Like stuff like that. My dad talks about it. He was like, well, now you like, my dad raising me. Now it's like I have the opportunity to ask why. Now, anyway, let's say, because before it was like I would get told why after I got the punishment.
Right.
And you're like,
exactly.
well, I don't want to hear you now.
Right.
Since I have no choice,
right.
fine. But now we get to understand that. But even like before, like they never got that, why afterwards, after the punishment or whatever. So like, getting older, high school, like obviously I haven't got like a beating in a long time. It's
right.
been forever. Yeah. Right. Too old for that. Now I'm getting put out of the house. Something happens.
Oh, God.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's like in high school, like I haven't, since, sometime middle school, whatever. But I would have the opportunity to ask, like, so why is it this way? Why is it that I gotta, do this or whatever? And they'll have a response, boom. So it wouldn't be no crazy punishment because I understand why immediately. So now I understand that I'm wrong and I deserve a punishment because I was obviously in the wrong.
Right.
And I think that's a big thing that, the generation before us and the one before them didn't have, because it was just, you do what I say. I'm your dad. I'm your mom or whatever. That's it. You boom. So yeah, I'm your upper, and I think that was. I don't want to say it was bad because it probably worked for them back then to a certain extent, But like nowadays,
it worked, but it created so much trauma.
Yes,
so much
trauma, and especially in the Black family.
Oh goodness, yes,
so much, and it's still there, and I think probably continue to get there. I mean, it's loosening up now because now folk don't even raise their kids, so. It's just, I mean, it's the truth, like you said, I've had kids, but like folk now, it's just they'll raise them for like the first couple of years, and after that they let them do their own thing, and like they're running the house.
Right.
Like, that's not how it's supposed to go.
Right.
You still have to establish hierarchy.
Right.
But make it an understanding hierarchy. Like
right.
I'm your father, but you do what I say. But I'm explaining something to you. You're not finna just be sitting around here wondering why.
Right.
While, sleeping the floor.
Right.
Like,
right.
No, you gotta sleep the floor because bugs don't get up in here if you don't sleep the floor. Stuff like that. So I feel like that's a big thing that I like. How society is doing now a little bit because they're actually starting to have those conversations in the family. It's just that we still a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
But no, I think that's good though.
Yeah.
Because like I tell my dad, I can't wait to have kids. Like, cause he tells me about what happened to him and how like they, the conversation really wasn't there. And then I think about how my parents raised me, and I'm like, they did a really good job. Obviously, I see some mistakes that happened, but like they did a good job. And other families,
right?
Oh, I don't want to know about that one. Like. But like I seen Aaron and Avery, like their parents love them, but sometimes I just feel like, why she just start yelling out of nowhere? Where does this come from? I'm like, yo, whoa.
Wait.
We were just chilling. Yeah, we were just laughing. Like, I'm like, well, I'm glad she's not yelling at me, but dang, bro, Avery, I just got here, bro. How you get in trouble already? Like,
right.
But no, that'd be so funny to me. I'm like, well, but that's like another communication thing. Because she ain't yelling because she's mad. She's yelling,
yelling.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, saying that, like, I need you to hear me what I just said or whatever. So I don't understand. Like, I feel like, my mama yelling, I know something crazy, something happened.
Right.
My dad yelled, the whole house was going crazy. The whole house was on fire, my dad yelling. But like,
exactly.
Yeah, but it's just, that communication thing is huge. But
yeah.
And I want that to segue, because perfect segue into talking about, talking to a man versus a woman. Because you can't talk to them the same way,
right?
Because they receive, information and process information differently.
Right.
You were talking about it earlier before we started, how a man kind of just box everything up. It's just there, you kind of gotta push a little too much to actually get them to open up the box.
Exactly.
And I can somewhat, agree that I put some stuff in the box, or it's like levels to it. I'll say levels to the game. But so I guess to you. Why or what is it that makes it different from talking to a man versus a woman?
I would say we both think logically, but women think more broad. We like to think about cause and effect. If this happens, this will happen. If that happens, this will happen. So we think everything is intertwined. Now, I don't want to generalize anybody. Some women have different mindsets. Some men have different mindsets. Some men are very emotionally connected to themselves and are able to think like women think. And some women think like men think. So I don't want to generalize anybody, but I'll just say women, from my perspective, women think more broadly, think more... that everything is intertwined. Everything has a cause and effect. Whereas men, I feel like men like to think in boxes. They got their relationship life. They got their work life. They got now if they're younger, they got their school life. They got their athletic life, So I think a lot of times men put things in categories or compartments, and they don't realize that some things that they say have an effect on other things in their lives, or some things that happen to them happens or creates events or things that happen in their other aspects of life.
That's deep.
So I would say what makes it different is just how we think, how we're wired. Women are naturally emotional. Now, that is not a bad thing. Men say that all the time. Women are naturally emotional beings. You say that like it's a bad thing. We're humans. Yeah. We're supposed to be emotional.
Yeah.
We're supposed to have emotions, empathy. We're supposed to think like that. But at some point in time, I don't know when it happened, but men got told that they couldn't be emotional. And I don't know why that is, but it's a tragedy. It is. Because men are humans at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And it sucks that they can't be emotionally vulnerable with themselves, with other people. And I feel like that's where the communication part comes in, because men aren't used to being emotionally vulnerable enough to think, well, if I say this to her, she could feel this way, and then she'll, deal with her emotions the way she deals with her emotions. But what about your emotions?
All right.
What about your emotions? How are you processing that? How are you processing what she's telling you? That's why women feel like they can talk to men any type of way. Cuss a man out, go about your day. What you mean? No. You gonna cuss this brother out and go about your day?
No.
He has feelings too. Mm-hmm. He's a human.
And then they don't ever show it either, because
right.
He'll say, okay,
all right, bet.
2 years later,
right?
Remember back when you said, or you just saw something blow up? Right. You're like, where this coming from?
Right?
Yeah, no, I had this box in for X amount of time or whatever. So yeah, that makes
sense. Keeping things in boxes. Yeah. Why are you keeping it in, brother? Let it out. Tell me now. Tell me now. Like. And I'm not saying all women are able to cuss a man out and go about their day, but I've seen it happen. And I'm not going to lie, I've done it myself. In my younger years. I'm saying that like I'm not 21, but in my younger years.
I'm getting up there.
Hey, relax. Right. In my younger years, I would say, cuss a man out, go about my business. Because he hurt my feelings. Simple. He hurt my feelings. He won't think about me. I'm not going to think about him. That's not the way to communicate. No. That's not how you communicate with a person. Are you serious? Have a conversation. Yeah. This is how you made me feel. Now, if that man responds with, okay. Or if that man responds with, that's not what I said. That's not my intention. Okay, it wasn't your intention, but that's how I felt at the end of the day. So a lot of times I think, once again, men do move faster in their brains than women, I feel like. So they don't take the time to think, this hurts her feelings. Mm-hmm. She's hurting. Let me listen to her for a second. Yeah. They're worried about the next move. Mm. Well, she's mad. Find another one. She did this. Find another one. Yeah. Let me move on. She don't care. Yeah. She does. She does care. You just need to take the time to stop and talk to her about how she's feeling. Yeah. And don't gaslight her. That's not cool. That's not cool.
Not at all. And
that's not cool.
I think that's deep, because I was bro, man, me and Rick talked about so much. He asked me about, like, if a girl were to get out of a relationship or whatever, heart is broken, and she goes and finds another guy instantly, is that different than when a man does it? I said yes, in a way, because I feel like in reality, usually, that when man and woman break up, then the man goes find some other chick or whatever, boom, he doesn't instantly feel that hurt, that pain right then and there. It might hit him for like a second, but after that, he's like, oh, I'm chilling, bro.
Right.
I feel relieved. I'm good. I don't got to worry about this girl no more. I'm chilling. All right. And then he goes find some other chick to whatever mess with or whatever, find some other thing to do with his time. And then, boom, by the woman's instantly, boom, broken. Shut down, won't talk to nobody, nothing. And I feel like when there's like if y'all were truly in love, instantly the woman would feel, straight like pain instantly. Right off the bat, like won't talk to nobody, because she don't want to talk to nobody else. She want to talk to you, right? But she can't, because if she does, then then that's when the toxic stuff and all that, boom, we don't want to go there, right? But like, so we don't want to do that. But like instantly, she won't talk to nobody else. So if there is a woman that does instantly run to somebody, she didn't really love you for real.
No,
that won't like some deep. Y'all won't in it for real, right? But like, while like the guy on the other hand, if y'all were truly in love, instantly he's trying to find he feels relieved. later on, he gonna feel that pain.
He
gonna
gonna feel
like,
it.
He gonna be like, damn, like, but he
Right.
really what he gonna go through. And I've personally felt that, and it's like, why am I just now feeling this?
Right.
You know, so like, there's times where I was like, when I get out, I'm like, you know what, nah, bro, I'm not.
Right.
Let me try to take time to process, because I'm occupying myself with other things. I don't need to be doing that. Let me
Right.
feel this right here before I try to even do anything else.
Right.
So I feel like guys really do like sit there and try to move on so they don't feel the pain, but they're just putting it off.
Right.
And if they put it off too long, then I feel like then it starts building up to
Right.
where you get men, committing suicide, which
Right.
is sad to say, but
Right.
it does come up because they're
Right.
been boxing things in for too long, and I think that's just it's so terrible.
Right.
Because I do feel that men to a certain degree should box, stuff up, but I feel like there has to be some type of time period on it. Like, you can't box everything up and leave it there for a long time. There are times where you do need to open up. Don't let up all the time, because you let people, too many people inside, then you find out in a way you feel compromised.
Right.
Women too, but just I feel like having like a somewhat like a time frame where every now and again talk to somebody.
Right.
It can be like once a week, once a month, just something like that. You're talking to somebody, getting what you feel out or whatever. Boom, because now you feel okay. Boom, I feel relieved.
Right.
Good, cool.
Right.
Now I can go about my day. I can go about my
Right.
life, instead of in your mind you're moving and you're thinking about it, and you're moving, you think about it, and you just going
Right.
like this. And you're like, oh my god, I'm going crazy. Like, no, but we don't want that.
Right.
That's
Exactly.
just that's not
Exactly.
the best thing at all. You stressed
Exactly.
out.
Stressed. Losing hair. Stressed.
Right. You're going crazy.
Not eating stress.
Like, dang, bro, when you start growing gray hair.
Right.
Like,
What you mean? That's been there. I don't know. What
lost
you're
some
talking
weight,
about.
like you said, not eating. Like, that's
Bro, what's
that's
really
terrible.
going on?
Yeah.
Like, you ever ask your friends that question? Like, I'll ask my friends all the time. What's really going on? Like, I'm asking you how you doing. You talking about, oh, I'm good, I'm straight. No, that's not what I'm asking you. What's really going on?
Yeah.
Have that conversation. Take that time.
I need to talk to my boys, but I need to talk to them about that, because I haven't talked to them, like, on a serious note. And that's what I was talking, like, man, it's like, man, Rick, you like really the first dude really like sat down and had a whole deep conversation, like, that wasn't strictly about females.
Right.
Like, we don't always guys always talk about females, but sometimes like
Right.
when you have a deep conversation, it's always about a female.
Right.
Like,
Like, no,
about
bro. There's other aspects of
right,
your life
like,
that
bro,
you got stuff going
are
on
you
with.
good,
Like,
bro? Do you actually love to play football?
Right. Right.
Like, I
Are you
wanna
doing
know.
it for yourself or
Right, or the people around you,
Right.
because you played it all your life.
Right.
So
like,
like
actually
yeah.
sit down and have that conversation.
Exactly.
And I do that with my guy friends. Like, my guy friends, I do try to take the time to ask them, like, bro, really?
Yeah.
What's going on? Because a lot of times they'll be like, no, I'm good. I'm straight.
Chill.
No, you're not. Bro, I saw you almost break down the other day. What you mean? You're not good. No. You're not.
Tell me what it is.
Right. Let it out.
Let it out.
Like, that's the problem. I do feel for y'all in that way. Like, y'all do have it hard where y'all have to, well, don't have to, but it's kind of like an unconscious choice to just box things in.
Yeah, because if not, then we're not seen as
Right.
being manly.
Right. Y'all are soft.
Right.
Okay, and okay.
Yeah.
They're humans. Y'all are humans with emotions. Like,
With emotions.
and that's the thing. The older generation don't see it that way.
Facts.
Our parents, bro.
Facts.
My dad,
Oof.
bro.
Oof.
Express your emotions, bro.
Oof.
Accept the love.
Yeah.
Give out the love.
Accept the love. Get out the love.
Like, I try to, push it on my brother. Like, you don't have to be strong with me. I'm your big sister.
Mm-hmm.
You can break down and cry. I really won't. Like, break down and cry. I want you to, actually.
Yeah.
Because you need to have those times where you just release emotion. Because if not, you're going to go crazy.
Yeah.
Like, and put myself in my brother's shoes, he has a lot going on. And I'm like, bro, that's a lot of pressure and that's a lot to deal with. What's going on? What's going on inside your brain?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there was one point, right? There was one point where I was like, bro, Cameron got a lot going on. He needs somebody to talk to. And, he could talk to a therapist, but I'm his big sister. So I'm going to step in, take that time to talk to him, actually listen to him, just let him vent. Sometimes guys just need to vent. Just let it out. They don't need no response. They don't need, just vent. Just let it out.
Yeah.
And I let Cameron do that one day, and he was just like, bro, I ain't never done that before. I'm like, I know. But he has one friend that he talks deeply with, and I'm proud of that relationship. But yeah, I definitely think guys need a space, a person, a time to just be themselves and just let go.
Yeah, just talk. Because, you know, it's not... Me personally, I don't think like most of the time that I need somebody to really respond. You know, I just need somebody to tell.
Right.
Like I don't want to be sitting there talking to, you know,
right.
in the car just talking. Like, you in the car with me? Bro. Like it's usually when I'm always in the car, like then these thoughts come up to me, I'll just be saying them, and I'm like, I don't even say anything. Just don't even say a word.
Don't
just
say
sit there and
nothing.
listen. Just look at me, but Whether like I get you or whatever.
Nod
like,
every now and then.
Just nod every now and then. I might ask you like right or something. Just don't even gotta respond. Just sitting there and listening is big. You know, I think when it comes to talking, you know, to males, because they don't really like looking for a solution necessarily. Even for females, you know, they at least on social media they always say that, you know, don't say nothing back.
Right.
Even though I feel like to me,
right,
there's a solution that needs to be said.
Right.
But it's like y'all just don't want to hear it.
Sometimes that's it. Sometimes that's it. Like don't say that.
Yeah, don't say that. I know it. I know I need the solution. Just don't say it.
Just
you know, don't say it right now. Say it later on.
For just a little longer.
Yeah. Yeah, that is. Yeah, but usually at the guy, it's them the kind of their brain processing everything. Like when they're talking, like their brain's just going. At least that's moving, for me. Yeah. It's just moving. So like while I'm talking about my problems, I'm immediately finding solutions for it. At least I'm coming up with some type of solution for it immediately. So it's like I don't need you to really give me a solution unless you say something that's like mad smart and I didn't think of. You know, and that's just. It's not very common though, but like sometimes it is. Like you know, it does happen. And like with women though, I just feel like. When they're, you know, going there venting, you know, going on the whole rant, like I don't feel like I should really say anything. Just let it all out. Yeah. And then when she's done, what are you looking for? Do you want, you know, do you want comfort? Do you want the solution? Like, you know, what do you want me to say then? Always before you start even, or before she starts. All right, what do you want me to do? You want me to just listen? Yes, boom.
Right. That's an important question though.
Yes.
What do you want? You want me to listen, or you want me to respond?
Yeah.
What do you want? Yeah. And me and my friends do that. Me and my girlfriends do that a lot. Like before we start our conversations, or even after we have our conversations, are you looking for advice or are you just venting? Yeah. And I'll be like, depending on the situation, I'll be like, I just want you to listen. Yeah. I don't want to hear Lauren Blockham. No, that's not what I want to hear right now. Please don't say that. But you know, one of my friends is very, oh no, I'm giving you this advice and you gonna listen.
When you're done talking, I want you to sit down so I can
shut up and listen. And my other friend is like, okay, well, how do you feel about that? Like, you know, after talking about the situation and what happened, or you know, well, how do you feel about it? And then they'll go into, well, this is my advice. My other friend is very, that's the situation? Oh, block him. He's done. No.
You don't need that stress. Don't worry about
it. Right. Your life is peaceful now.
Right.
We're not doing that. But yeah, I just feel like men and women both need spaces to vent. But as far as communication, men move super fast. They move faster. Yeah. They're always next move. Yeah. What's going to happen next?
Yeah. What's next?
I need to find what's next.
I ain't worried about right now.
Right.
What's next?
When really they need to slow down.
They need to take the moment.
Time, right?
Yeah, taking that moment.
Because if you don't, it's going to catch up to you. Whether or not you want it to.
The moment's just going to be going like that.
Right. Whether or not you want it to is going to catch up with you. Yeah. You don't have a choice. You don't. Yeah. Realistically, you don't have a choice to not think about that moment. You can distract yourself all you want. But in those moments when you sitting by yourself, you thinking, dang, that hurt. Like, take the time to process.
Or that guilt trip too. Even that. You like, dang, I was terrible.
Right. Dang, did I do that for real?
Yeah, you're like, what? You sitting there like, was that me? There ain't no way.
Right.
Like, what?
Right.
Yeah, no.
Like, take the time to actually process.
Yeah.
And feel what's going on.
For sure.
Look in yourself. Don't look out for distractions. Distractions will always be there. You can always find you a distraction. Easily. But you're not going to find the moment all the time to slow down and take the time to really process and think about what's going on. Yeah. So, yeah. I feel like men and women differ in that way. Y'all move super fast and we just we find time to take the time. Cause like you said, like after after, say, you're in a relationship for a while, girl and a guy breaks up. The girl gonna go off and get like 4 certificates, graduate from college, start doctorate or whatever, master's. The guy gonna get him a little girlfriend about a month later.
Have a baby.
And he gonna sit there and start thinking, well, dang. I don't know if that was the right thing to do.
Yeah. I'm sitting there like, what?
Hold on. But yeah, like women, we take the time. Like people make a joke out of it. Like I see on Instagram all the time, people talking about, you break up with a black girl, she gonna have her diploma in 2 weeks. That's a fact. Because we find our distractions in putting in the work. But at the same time, when we putting in that work, we putting in the work on ourselves.
Yeah.
Because even though it's a distraction, sort of, we still use that time to think and process.
Yeah.
Now, if you just move in relationship to relationship, you're not taking the time to process. And then you're putting whatever happened in that last relationship onto the next one. And you're wondering why you're hopping from relationship to relationship.
Right.
Because you taking all the baggage you had from the last one to the next one. And then that one has double baggage. Then you taking that baggage to the next one. Ooh. Now you got triple baggage. Stop.
Right.
Slow down.
Take out the trash.
Right. Take out the trash, bro. Pack it up. Take out the trash, bro. Like, nah. Take the time to stop and think. Feel your emotions. It's okay. Yeah. I promise. It's okay. And if you feel like it's not okay, shoot, talk to me. Because I know it's okay. Or find somebody like-minded. Like,
right.
Find somebody you know that's not going to judge you.
Right.
Like, find somebody that's like, you know, close, that you can talk to without judgment.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to sit there and talk to somebody and they be like, what you mean,
Right.
Like, I'm trying to talk to you, have a conversation, and you judge me? No, that's not what I want to hear.
And don't go to social media.
No, do not do that.
That's instant judgment.
That's instant judgment.
Somebody gonna be like, you
over
here wondering why, they wrong. You're like,
right.
No, you in the wrong.
Right. Bro, I can't. With people who post their entire lives on social media, I'm like, you asking people to sit there and judge you. And then you wonder why.
Right.
You wonder why people sitting there judging you. Because you posting it. Posting allows people to just do what they want with your stuff.
Yeah.
They can do whatever they want. They can comment, send it to other people.
Save it.
Right, save it. Screenshot it.
Screenshot.
Like, bro, what? No. Do not go to social media about your relationship problems or any of your problems. Like, so serious. Like, that's not what you want to do. But yeah, social media is not the way to go.
No, not at all.
No. That's not where you need to have any conversation.
And when somehow, some way you find a meaningful conversation out of it. You might find one or two. Sometimes TikTok might be a little helpful. Yeah. But that's not common. Right. That's not something you really look for. That's something you stumble upon.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then you sitting there looking at who viewed your story. Well, why ain't they say nothing? Well, why ain't they swipe up? Because they ain't want to. Simple.
They don't care.
They don't care.
Nope.
They might care, but they don't care in that moment enough to swipe up and be like, what's going on? No.
Yeah, most people just be clicking through stories.
Let me just they posted
swipe.
Right. Right. Like, no one takes the time. Yeah. Once again, moving too fast. Moving way too fast.
Yeah.
A lot of this has to pertain to moving too fast. Yeah. People got to stay in the moment.
Yeah, they got to live.
Swear.
Got to live. That's a big thing, like, when it comes to working, too. Like, I know I'm getting off topic a little bit, but it was in my head, like, people was like, man, my boy Rick was like, man, like, what's living if you ain't working? I'm like, well, you can stop working and live sometime. Like, bro, you can't. I was like, well, what about people that get retired? He's like, but if you ain't growing, then what you doing?
Then what you doing, right?
I was like, that's a good point. But sometimes I feel like when you grow so much to where you need to live. Take care of your family. Stop working. Take time for yourself or whatever. Relax. So like, I was like, man, when I go on vacation, I want a vacation.
Right.
I don't want to work on vacation.
Right. Not at all.
I did kind of pretty much work on vacation, recently, which it wasn't too bad. Actually, kind of was the best vacations I've had. But like, it was just like, I don't want to be working. I don't want to have to bring my computer every time. Like, no.
Right.
Leave it at home. Leave my work phone, whatever. And like, no, I don't want to bring that because I want to. I want to live right now in this moment, kind of live, and start working. So I think that's, especially people our age, they're talking about working for their career. They're working. Live.
Right.
Take the vacation.
Right.
So take a little
It's gonna
day
be
trip.
there.
Yeah, it's gonna be there. Take a little day trip to the beach.
I
Go.
promise it's a day trip, right? A
Yes.
day.
A day.
Think about
That's
it.
all you need.
It's just a day.
One.
That stuff gonna be there when you get back. I promise.
That
It's not
full-time
going
job
nowhere.
gonna be there.
It's not
nowhere.
going nowhere. I promise. That laptop gonna be in the same spot.
Yeah.
That work gonna be on the same screen.
Yeah.
It's gonna be there.
It's gonna be more work probably when you come back too.
Right.
But that's what you want to do, right? You want to work.
Right.
All right.
But I take the time to take a day. Like I do self-care days.
Mm.
And I'm very strict about my self-care days. Very strict. I choose who I want to talk to. I choose where I want to go. I choose who I want to see. Like I'm very strict about my self-care days because
So
it's my
planned
day.
out the whole day.
Yeah, it's my day.
Yeah, that's.
But also, I tell myself to stay in the moment because if I'm planning out the entire day, it's gonna go way too quick.
Yeah,
way
that
too
makes
quick.
sense.
So, but yeah, I agree. Take the day. Go to the beach.
Mhm.
Relax. Leave the work at home.
I need
Leave
to go
it.
to the beach. Leave it. Leave it.
It's gonna be there.
Oh yeah.
I promise. Or at least, like, if you have to take the work with you, and I understand that sometimes, you have to take it with you.
Mm-hmm.
Go to the beach. Go do something. Block off some time to work on it. An hour, couple hours. After that, set the timer. The timer go off. You're done. Drop the work. Leave it.
I dropped the work. You're done. Don't find extra work.
Right. But yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you coming and
course.
talking. You know, this went a little longer than I
A little long.
expected. A little long.
long.
But it's fine. It was a great conversation. I hope all of you guys got something out of it and, you know, feel, you know, enlightened a little bit, you know, from this rich conversation that me and Warren have had. So I appreciate you again for coming
course.
on and talking. You know,
Anytime.
it was good. I appreciate your
good.
opinions. Yes, like you said some deep things. I learned something. I hope you learned something for
Of
sure.
course.
I hope you guys learned something, and hope y'all come back and see the next episode. Appreciate y'all. Peace. You could have waited if you wanted to. It's too late
Bye.
now.